The narrative after the presidential debate last night is overwhelming. It's not even usually this powerful. So I have a much different take from watching the debate than the aftermath. I'll touch on my thought on the debate, but my thought on the debate is irrelevant at this point. The aftermath in the discussion is where the whole story is right now. The narrative after the debate, where you see for the first time that I can remember, you see people on the bootlicking side going against Joe Biden very strongly. Mika, Joe Scarborough today, never seen it. There's plenty, if they actually wanted to be impartial commentators, there was plenty of opportunity to go after Joe Biden. In There would have been a gradual progression to this. It to me is just weird how after the debate, just lockstep, everyone from Psaki to the bald-headed bald one to Mika to Joe, everybody on the same page like that. No disagreements really, no disagreements on anything. It seems to me like this was a setup. That's the story of the debate. We're living in a Truman Show. Uh, I thought Donald Trump was terrible. I think he was awful in the debate. I think in the moment while watching the debate, I think I was more focused on what Trump was saying, and maybe I don't know if it was connection or something. I knew Joe Biden sounded hoarse, but then looking back, I listened to it, believe it or not. I told Stephen Ignoramus, I'm listening to the debate again because my take is so different than everybody else. I'm like, I got to stop. I got to check this and let's see where I'm at. So I listened to about half of it. I don't know if I'm going to watch the whole thing again. But I think one of the things I missed was Joe Biden's when the debate started, his voice was just hoarse and just weak, and I didn't know if he had a cold. I still don't know. I have to did he have a cold or what? I don't know, but it was weaker than normal. I mean, I think if his voice wasn't that weak, he probably wouldn't have gotten as much. It would have been harder to do this heat, but the heat was all pre-planned. But listening back to it, because during the moment I said Trump, I literally said Trump lost the debate. So going back to it, I don't think I would say that because Biden sounded so. It was just weird watching him, but I'm so immune to it now. That's how Biden is. I mean, what are we just now noticing this? But maybe some people are. But Trump was terrible. But I'm not going to digress into to Trump. It's irrelevant because the story now is Biden and him getting replaced. He's old, he's feeble. Everybody's known this. David Ignatius in September of 2023 wrote an article, I believe it was for the Washington Post, where he said something about, and David Ignatius is a journalist who is basically embedded with the CIA. The CIA. He's like an honorary, if you go to the airport and you get one of those stamps for kids, like you got the wings. He's an honorary CIA agent, David Ignatius. And in September, that was the first time I noticed any of this pushback for like swapping Biden out. September of last year, September 2023, David Ignatius wrote an article, headline, something like, and the headline matched the article, opinion piece, it's time to step aside, Joe. It was like, I love you, Joe, kind of that type of thing, and it's time to step aside. He went on the rounds after that, and he kind of had to do an apology tour. And since then, we heard some mumblings about him being replaced, but nothing that, if you're going to replace Joe, it's got to be strong, not mumblings. It's got to be unified, strong, especially that side. There's no debating on that side. There's no, well, no, I like liberty here. Or that. When you go to the non-bootlicking side, there's, well, I like welfare, or I like there's more diversity in thought in the dissenting side. It's not like Republicans versus Democrats. It's more populist versus the pro-globalists. And on their side, they're all in lockstep. So you obviously can't replace Biden if they're not all in lockstep. That means the call hasn't been made. So I didn't see any reaction. I watched the video. I was on with the homie. Thank you for having me on, Stephen Ignoramus. It was a great time, fun time. And I didn't see any of the reaction. And maybe I'll talk with, I got to see if I do another debate reaction like that, I've got to see the reaction while I do the reaction, because now I'm flying blind with like where I am with everybody else. Not that I'm changing my take, but I got to know where I'm flying. But I'm on there. So I didn't see any reaction. I didn't see anything until after the debate. So then after the debate, I got my phone. I'm like, okay, what's happening? And I'm hearing, is his name Van Jones, the black Iman bootlicker, him going after Joe Biden. I'm like, what the hell? I've never heard him go after. He has said some things, but never not like this. I'm like, what the hell? Then I saw the new G.I. Jane, Joy Reid. Seeing her, is she suffering from alopecia too, or is that just how she's always been? I don't know. She went after him. I'm like, wait, what? And then Jen Psaki went, and then I was like, oh, whoa. This is not normal. Even after Afghanistan, they didn't do this. We had American soldiers die. They didn't do over incompetence. We all know it's incompetence. That was one of Trump's good moments in the debate, where Trump's best moment in the debate was when he was like, you didn't fire them. That was a dope part. But they didn't have that take when American soldiers died via incompetence that we all know is incompetent. They didn't even have that take then. So I'm like, wait, something is weird going on. Even if I'm off on, I was the part that I was really off of is how bad Biden presented himself. Okay, so I was off on that part. Even if I'm off on that part, this doesn't seem normal. Biden's been like this. They were just talking about cheap fakes, and Joe Scarborough wasn't like, oh man, Joe Biden's wandering, or they didn't do none of that. All of a sudden, they got the call. So here's where we're at. Biden's getting replaced. You can't overcome the call this loud. If the call is this loud, you can't overcome it. And you start looking at the chess moves. I believe this is the first time ever there was a debate before the party conferences, the Republican and Democrat party conferences. And I didn't think that was a setup until now. It's clearly a setup, because I was like, oh, early voting is September. So they wanted to get it out the way. But it doesn't make sense. Why would Joe Biden debate with a hoarse voice? I don't know if his voice is that now. It sounded more hoarse than normal. Why would he do that? Why would he even do this? The people they get funded by so many interest groups and everything, and they don't work for you. They don't work for me. And people had to have, there's no way Joe Biden wanted to do this. And Jill, no way. They were forced to. The people behind them said, you've got to do it. And some people were chatting with me and said, I think it was a test. It wasn't a damn test. It was a setup. It was a psyop. It was an absolute setup. They put Joe on the stage, and no matter what happened, they were going to set him up. We have evidence to that. And I believe Cassandra, can I say friend of show? I am a huge supporter of hers. She was one of my People of the Year when I did People of the Year last year. Cassandra McDonald wrote an article for Scanner News. I believe this is Timcast. I don't know what the separation is now, but it's on Tim's website, SCNR, that showed the URL for the CIA rag paper propaganda New York Times, the URL for their article pushing against Joe Biden, basically saying he should drop out, had the date of June 25th in it. The debate happened June 27th. How did that happen? I don't know if there's I'm not saying I don't know anything definitive, but I need them to do they don't have to do anything to me, but if they don't explain that, then that's all I need to know. It's a tacit agreement. How could they be that sloppy? You go to Timcast right now. I'm going to try to do more focused videos. I'm just a live rant right now, and I'll go to the comments. I don't have much time, so I just got about 5 minutes. So I'll flesh this out. But they have an article where the article, they have on Timcast website, written by Cassandra McDonald, showing the URL for the Times website article dissing Joe Biden happened 2 days before the event. How did that happen? So then now you're looking at the chips. Why would they even do the debate? Whose minds are you trying to change? Joe was forced into it. Why was he forced into it? They thought this was the timing they needed to get him the hell up out of there. So what's happening, I think, behind the scenes is Joe Biden has said he's not dropping out. That's bullish. There's no way. We've never seen this. You can't run a campaign when your own bootlickers ain't licking your boot anymore. They're still licking the boot of the ones controlling, but Joe Biden's out of that loop now. It's over. It's done. He can't recover from this. There's no you would need another debate. You would need another major event. Well, maybe they can create one. Yeah, that's not a good, what could that be? I don't want to get too dark, but they could. So let me correct that. They could. It would take a major debate. Our borders are open. We're in proxy wars, so you can think about where that major event could be if Jill and Biden don't want to give up power. They're in a power struggle. If there is no major debate, and I pray there is not one, because it won't be a good one. If there is no major event between now and August 19th is the DNC, you can't run a campaign when your own people are going against you. When Joe Scarborough is nearly in tears, Mika Brzezinski is nearly in tears because they know how disgusting your family is. And they've been for years saying how great of a family you are, knowing that you're just complete, absolute trash, selling your soul. And then now they get the call, allegedly, from the agencies, from them. Is it really? Who's they, though? Who's them, though? So you get the call from them, and then you have to egg on your face, change your mind, and then now you're in the fake tears on your MSNBC show. You can't run for president. So I think I will never forget this moment during the primary. Joe Biden brought up Mayor Pete on the stage, and this is not on some politics stuff. You might know where I'm going with this because back in the day, I brought this up all the time on the channel. Joe Biden brought up Mayor Pete Buttigieg. He brought the butt plug up on the stage, and he said, he's something to the effect of, you remind me of my son, Beau. That's not, for Joe Biden, Beau was the good one. Beau was the one who was supposed to be president not right now, not Joe. Beau was the white sheep. Hunter was the black sheep, the one you want to hide in the closet, the one that got hoes all over the world, got who knows how many babies that nigga got crawling all over the country right now. Trying to learn how to walk. This nigga probably got babies in every state in this country that they trying to ignore the CIA changing their names on. Beau was the good one. And for Joe Biden to compare Mayor Pete to his deceased son, and rest in peace, not going to speak bad on Beau. I never even had beef with Beau. Beau was just, corporate as hell, but I never had beef with Beau. For him to compare them, I think Joe wants Mayor Pete to replace him, and he has some leverage here. I don't think Joe wants Gavin Newsom, and I'm not even going to say allegedly. I will tell you flat out, Jill Biden would rather figuratively burn this country down than have Kamala Harris become president. She would walk around this country with a gas can in a match and say, "Don't do that shit," before she supported Kamala Harris as president. I'm not even going to say allegedly. She despises that woman. Probably more than Michelle Obama. It's funny how they all hate each other. I think Jill Biden hates Kamala Harris more than Michelle Obama hates, not Kamala Harris, Michelle Obama hates Joe Biden. They all just hate each other. It ain't happening. I don't think it actually should be Kamala Harris. And one of the first things I saw in the aftermath was Kamala Harris said something to the effect of Joe started slow. And I was like, what? That's weird. That was actually one of the first dissenting things I heard from Joe. I was like, whoa, that was odd. And I was just like, oh, that's probably just Kamala being stupid or gaffing again. No, I think Kamala knows what's up. Kamala wants to be in it, but I think what they're going to do is they're going to try to do whatever they need to do to get Jill Biden on, because I don't even know if Joe knows what's happening. So, and I don't even mean that to be like making a joke. So they're telling Jill, we'll do this for you. We'll do this for you. What we want to do is take Kamala and swap out Gavin Newsom. That's her home state, and she couldn't win the state in the primary, but Gavin Newsom is the one they want to push out, is what it looks like. He was at the debate. He could not. He is such a sleazeball. Joe Biden's on the debate. We don't know if he's going to make it through. We don't know if he's going to actually croak. We don't know if he's going to literally croak on camera. And they asked Gavin Newsom after the debate, are you going to replace him? We don't think Joe did very well. And Gavin Newsom is grinning ear to ear. I mean, just like Bateman, this is like the Bateman character. He is grinning from ear to ear, and he can't hide it. What a sleazeball. But I think what they're going to say is, Gavin, we might have you run. It's weird, too, because California, how do you defend that? I don't know. But it looks like it's him. I don't know who else it would be. Maybe Michelle Obama. That would be weird. But you take Gavin Newsom, he runs. It's whoever they have polling. They know who they think will make it the easiest for them to cheat in the election and win. I think that's what they're looking for. I mean, if you are so bad, it's like I'm losing Monopoly so bad. I got to steal so much cash to do it. It's just kind of odd. So they're going to put Newsom in, tell Kamala, we're giving you California as governor. I don't know how that works. I have to look it up, because Newsom's term doesn't end until 2027, but whatever. They'll do whatever they need to do. Kamala Harris, the blacks don't matter. They'll do whatever the Democrats say. They don't even have to give Kamala Harris California. The blacks, any black that's still with Joe Biden, they'll be with Gavin Newsom. They're not going to be wishy-washy like that. But I think they will, just out of optics, give Kamala Harris California, and Newsom runs, and then Biden has to obviously get behind Newsom. And then I don't know where Mayor Pete fits in that, but I think Biden would want Mayor Pete, and they don't want Mayor Pete. Mayor Pete is skillful with his. Don't underestimate him. I know he's been trash. He's way over his head, way underqualified for Secretary of State, but he's a good orator. He kind of has gotten into this place where he's defending things that are indefensible, so he sounds kind of whack, like, DEI on roads and stuff, and that's not really him. But if you can get him on a topic that's even half defensible, he's a formidable debate, convincing type of guy to be on the stage. And he's gay. You got the baby. I mean, some people might think it's demonic, others might think it's lovable, and it's a intersectionality thing. So it's like, it's not just a white male, and it's not just a straight white male like Gavin Newsom. It would be a gay. So that is something that's worth something, and you can rally around him that way. Mayor Pete didn't do well with the blacks, so I don't know how that would work. But my rambling's over. I'm gonna get out of here and do some more concentrated, fleshed out thoughts. You know what I do, actually? I'll take this video, transcribe it to voice to text, then put it in ChatGPT, and then tell, hey, do an outline, flesh it out, and then I'll go and do more concentrated stuff. So I'm gonna go on a walk with my wife right now, so I'll be out. Just looking at some of the comments. Somebody said, what, Newsom is gay? No. I was talking about Mayor Pete. Maybe he is. I don't know. I was talking about Mayor Pete. Mayor Pete is, yeah, he's a good orator. All right, Mayor Pete is always at whatever is closest. Why are we always off the rails? Scotty says, yeah, he's a good orator. All right. He's talking about Mayor Pete. Mayor Pete is always at whatever is the closest glory hole in town. Can we not, the country is falling apart. My wife is waiting for me. She's not happy. and, and we're talking about glory holes. Uh, on that note, I'm out.